What if the universe didn't begin with a singularity plus inflation, but with a supermassive black hole ending quietly? In the energy filament theory, the first question is not which equation we like, but what the media and mechanisms are. And one candidate origin is a mother black hole that slowly loses its seal and becomes a spreading three-dimensional energy sea. Think of a black hole here as a boiling machine stretched to the limit of tension, with an outer critical porous skin. Picture that skin like a pressure cooker safety valve. It does not explode once it leaks for a very long time through countless tiny pores that open and close, releasing energy and information in microscopic drips rather than a single blast. Then comes the turning point. The pores become more frequent and harder to close. The outer critical surface shifts from a threshold that can seal into a loosened belt that can't seal back. What you see is not a firework. It's a calm failure mode. A deep sealed valley becomes a valley with a mouth, and the black hole changes from a closed pot into a slowly overflowing lump of energy. That overflow spreads outward like thick soup poured onto a table. It becomes a three-dimensional energy sea, denser and tighter near the center, thinner and looser towards the edge. And as it spreads, a boundary forms naturally. The outermost regions eventually become so loose that the relay of propagation starts to stutter, like air becoming too thin to carry sound. Long-range forces and information can no longer travel reliably beyond that threshold, and the cosmic boundary is simply where the relay chain fails. Why choose this as a candidate origin? First, it creates a beginning with low macroscopic dynamical scars. If the early universe had a single violent directional launch, you'd expect stubborn directional fingerprints in statistics. A poor drip release chops the event into countless micro-events that average out, leaving a smoother macroscopic imprint. Second, while it is still a black hole, the boiling core has already mixed away large differences. It naturally trends towards isotropy. So the overflow inherits a pre-stirred, initial background rather than needing perfect initial conditions. Third, it matches the early universe order of appearance. Inside the boiling core there are no stable particles, only churning filament sea. That aligns with the idea that a high-tension medium comes first, and stable rings, particles, atoms, and structures came later as the sea relaxes. Fourth, it produces the right overall shape without forcing mathematical infinity. You get a finite, three-dimensional energy lump that can be irregular. It can have a geometric center in the trivial sense any finite object does, without having a dynamical center that would be observable as a privileged point. Fifth, it gives a concrete boundary mechanism and explains why the boundary need not be a perfect sphere. If the sea state varies slightly with direction, the distance at which the relay fails will vary too. So the edge becomes uneven by physics, not by aesthetic choice. The most important part is the time order. Mixing and boiling happen while it is still a black hole. Overflow marks the start of relaxation evolution. Only after the sea relaxes do stable particles self-stabilize and structures begin to grow. This is not claimed as the only answer. It is offered as a mechanism-first candidate that keeps isotropy, boundary formation, and later evolution inside one consistent physical language, instead of switching from a geometric singularity story to a separate matter and structure story later. Next episode we push the consequences. If the universe is born as an overflowing energy sea with a relative defined boundary, what should the earliest observable signatures look like? And how would this change what we think the beginning even means? Tap follow, share it on New Physics, Clear Universe.